Hi, I'm Bernadette Janae from Old Navy's design team. Spring is here, so it's time to unbundle and show yourself off to the world again. And at Old Navy, we've got the outfits of the season to take you from brunch to beach to boardwalk and back. And now through Sunday, it's Old Navy Spring Break Sale with thousands of your favorite items on sale, like our T-shirts from $5, cute dresses and shorts from $15, plus swimwear from $10. So hit the spring break in style and run to Old Navy.
Val 3-4 to 313. Select styles only. See store for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening and welcome to Empower Half Hour. This week's topic is what is true beauty. What does society deem beautiful? And how do we love ourselves for who we are and not for who others want us to be? And the podcast is made possible by Empower Half Hour Time to Play, a 501c3 corporation with the mission and purpose to enrich the lives of others through our programs, public awareness, outreach activities, events, and learning opportunities that further the concept of enjoying life. And my name is Stacy Gertz. I'm a teacher and a CASAC-T, and I'm passionate about improving the quality of as many lives as I can through the course of a day, through positivity and sharing just different perspectives. And joining me this evening is Cailyn Marie Brindly. You just called in. Hi, Cailyn. And I met Cailyn when we attended Fashion Week to promote our fragrance, Be Extraordinary, in the city. She, too, is passionate about just spreading positivity and helping as many people improve the quality of life on a daily basis. And this is a non-judgmental half hour. Say what you want to say. During the Empower Half Hour, we'll talk about proactive things that each of us can do easily to make every day a little bit better. We'll motivate and empower ourselves and each other. And the whole idea in this podcast is people helping people. And we know that collaboration equals success because we're all in this together. So Empower Half Hour is also made possible by our sponsors, and I'd like to recommend two of our local sponsors who have a tremendous amount of inner beauty that also help in attaining some of our outer aesthetics. And that would be Gary over at 3 Road Cosmetics in Port Jefferson Station and our friend Sue over at C Creations downtown Port Jefferson. So thank you. And I wanted to start with a quote that resonated with me by Audrey Hepburn. And her quote is, "For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only the words of kindness. And for poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone." And I know that the word beautiful is interpreted in so many different perspectives. And for me, I love that quote. So I wanted to start with it. So, Cailyn, can you tell us some ways that, I know that you're very comfortable in your skin, and I know that you're young, and I feel that confidence really adds to beauty. I found you to be a beautiful young woman, and I know you have a terrific smile. And I was just wondering, maybe you could share some ways that you channel your confidence and just carry yourself the way that you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate those compliments. I don't know. It's very difficult in today's society to find the confidence and find the ability to wake up in the morning and say, I'm worth it, I'm worth today, I'm a great person. And a lot of it comes from the support of my family. I have a really great support system that, if I'm having a day where I'm not feeling so wonderful, they're there to, kind of raise me back up. And I think a lot also comes from my education. I pride myself on being a really dedicated student, and I work really hard to better myself mentally, which in turn actually helps to really make me more confident. I feel more secure in myself. I feel, stronger almost because I'm mentally confident. If even if I'm not, working out every day, I can still hold myself up with a lot of pride, knowing that, I dedicate myself to being a better person and educating myself every day, and that makes me feel a little bit more beautiful.
So you really work at it, and it shows. And, having family support is huge. And not everybody has that luxury. So I know, in me growing up, it was hard for me because I didn't have that kind of family support. I had a single working mom that had some issues, and she was always working. And for some reason, we had a nomadic childhood, my brother and I, so we moved around a lot. And I felt like every time I was making friends, I was moving again. But I was always attracted to people that were positive and just try to get myself into friends' homes that had a normal balance so that I could, have some flavor of that in growing up. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes it's up to us to have to navigate and, just realize that there is support out there. Even, teenagers, there's always like community groups that, you can join to meet friends so you don't have to feel alone. And, to take advantage of that is huge because it helps us with our confidence because we're not all as, I would say we don't all have that luxury of having, a beautiful family, support system. But beauty, also comes from within. And I was interested to read an article. It was actually Asian beauty versus the American standard. But it had so many interesting concepts of beauty. And they gave an example of a marketing executive who was attracted to a young woman in his office where another colleague, thought that she was, horrible looking because it reminded him of a teacher that gave him a really tough year one year when he was, younger. And, it shows that beauty comprises of both like the physical base and the social overlay. So, we bring our emotions inside to how we perceive the beauty on the outside. And that emotional, component has a huge effect on the perception of beauty. And I was looking at a few definitions. So one definition that was repeatedly listed was having qualities that delight or appeal to the senses and often the mind. Another one was things that give the greatest pleasure and stir emotion. So I thought it was interesting to, take the perspective of both the physical outside aesthetics and mixing it with the emotions that we have inside. And then the coolest definition for beautiful was in the Urban Dictionary, and it listed beautiful as a person who has distinctive personality and one who can laugh at anything, including themselves, and who's kind and caring to others, and one who knows the value of fun and doesn't take life too seriously. So I thought, wow, that's definitely, a cool person. And
I definitely agree, especially with the being able to laugh at yourself. I am someone who is constantly able to laugh at themselves, and that helped me get through a lot of bullying when I was back in middle school and high school, was I learned to, kind of laugh it off, to, take the good with the bad. You'll get critics, but then at the same time, you'll get those that will laugh with you, and that really helps to lighten any negativity. So even if you're making a fool of yourself, sometimes you have to kind of see the humor in it.
Absolutely. And, it took me longer. I didn't find that comfort in high school, and it was probably from being shifted around so much and a little bit of insecurity that way. But today I can honestly say that, I look for a lesson in everything. If I don't get something perfect, I'm like, what could I learn from it? How could I do it differently? It's definitely, I think there's a beauty in trying to work, like, for example, you said, you work at it mentally and physically, And I know I do too in terms of exercise and trying to find a little bit of me time and in the balance of that. But I think that just trying to strive for potential is beautiful in its own right. I'm definitely attracted to people that are not complacent. I respect a quality to just, always try to seek a higher good. And I wasn't always like that. So I'm evolving, and even today I'm evolving. But I think it definitely adds beauty when one takes pride in themselves. And, there's so many different ways to take pride in ourselves. And like you said, with education, the more we know about nutrition, the more sensibly we're going to make healthy choices. The more we know about the ramifications of certain habits, whether it's substance abuse with young people, the more educated we are, definitely, the more we can take part in our own development, growth, and channeling our own inner beauty, and even taking care of ourselves on the outside. And beauty is really, it's almost like the opposite of perfection, because it's more about confidence, like we're talking about, and charisma and character. I mean, I know I've met people of different magnitudes of weight, different styles of clothing. It doesn't matter if it's new or if it's old. If they are confident, they have swag. If they carry themselves if it doesn't matter to them what anybody thinks, and they're speaking from their true inner child, to me, that's sexy. That's attractive.
It is. It's so attractive. It really makes you want to be around that other person. I am jealous sometimes of how, confident my little sister is. She's 16, and she walks around sometimes in things that I wouldn't be caught dead in, but she loves the way she looks, and she is so spunky and full of life, and I'm so jealous of that. And I tell her all the time, don't let that fire go out. I love that she's, really doesn't really care what anyone else thinks. She loves being who she is, and that's, makes her this amazing person that you want to be around.
And so she has that kind of confidence, but I'm sure when you talk about the fire inside, she's also kind. She must be if she's a sister, because I get that. I get that energy from you. So, that adds to the whole package. With that confidence, when you have the kindness and acceptance in others, as much as knowing that you have it, you're comfortable in your own skin, then you have like the whole package. And you can give others, you can give to others easier, and there's no competition other than, yourself or, trying to be better than who you were yesterday. And a smile is definitely a key component to what makes a person more beautiful. I mean, I don't know. When we're young, we smile at almost everything. From like our parents making goofy faces, we smile at like cartoons or a new toy. And then somewhere in between that, like with adolescence to young adulthood, it dissipates a little bit. I know my son right now is a little bit like that. He's 16. And, there is research that shows that, finding that genuine smile again can be a better beauty makeover than revamping your wardrobe or splurging on an expensive haircut. It's like that inner child just comes out. And I once had a cosmetology teacher in BOCES. Her name was Mrs. Sandler, I'll never forget. And she used to tell me that a smile is like your lifetime facelift. She's like, whatever expression you carry on your face for your life, she said, channel an older woman, Stacy, and, picture yourself with your facial expression that you carry the most, and it becomes embedded in you when you're older. Like she said, and women that smile all the time, they have that graceful, face, natural, face lifted, it's like what they carry when they're older. I don't know. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. No, I agree. I think that it's very seldom. I know as New Yorkers, we always get this bad rap that no one's friendly, especially in New York City. But I find that if I get off the subway or if I get off the train and I smile at someone or I make eye contact with someone, not only do I feel better, but I know that they left that quick, fleeting glance feeling a little bit happier. You know, they'll exchange a smile. And I really like trying to start almost like a chain reaction. If, you know, don't be afraid to smile at a stranger. Don't be afraid to smile at someone else on the street, or when you're holding the door for someone, you know, smile, say thank you, say, you know, say have a great day. And that positivity will spark their positivity, and it makes, you know, it makes the whole day a little bit better and more beautiful. And I love that. I'm like the most smiley, bubbly, giggly person, especially even if I'm nervous, you know. And I feel like that's why people warm up to me right away, because I'm not afraid to smile, I'm not afraid to laugh or giggle.
And that's exactly how I felt around you. And I try to be like that too. You know, people definitely will trust you more and, you know, think that you're more sincere and even confident, you know, when you have that smile on, because it kind of, it relates to this, something called the halo effect. So it's like when you have one good quality, it makes people assume that you have, you know, a host of other beautiful qualities. And that smile is definitely, you know, the first impression with that. And I, too, you know, will smile. Even if somebody doesn't smile back at me, I'll just continue to smile and hold the door. And I do. I try to see how many people that I can just, you know, warm up in the course of a day. And it just makes it, like you said, it makes life more fun, you know, just bubbling around.
I agree.
And it's a good way to come out of a funk, because, you know, let's face it, you know, as positive as we are, and I truly know that we are, you know, there's always going to be that challenging day. And, you know, if you can just, like, help a person just going around, you know, whether it is holding a door or, you know, carrying a package to someone, it actually takes that, whatever's bugging you, off your mind, and it works for me. And some other effects, besides just, like, making a face more attractive, there's actually reward regions in our brain that can light up in response to a grin. So, you know, it's amazing how we can actually even, you know, smile at somebody and it could send endorphins to their brain. So, you know, and at the same time doing it for us. I was just comparing a lot of just different evidence-based data to, you know, what we actually do on a daily basis to just add positivity and, you know, create beauty from the inside out, because that's basically what we're talking about. And it comes with comfort and getting to know ourselves and what we truly want, and, you know, finding our purpose in the world. You know, it adds to confidence that way. And I don't know, what are some other examples how we can just channel confidence and self-love?
I think it's difficult, just with the way that the media is right now, with their focus on, you know, you need to be this size, especially for women, but also including men, you know, look this way, this is, you know, the hottest bods, I know they do countdowns, 100 sexiest, you know, celebrities, and, you know, it's hard to sit back and say, all right, I don't look like them, but I don't feel bad about myself. You know, I shouldn't feel bad about myself. And one of the ways that I look at it is, you know, that's their career is looking good. But I want a lot more out of my life than just someone saying, oh, you have a killer set of abs, or, you know, you have the best legs in, you know, the world. I want more out of my life. I want to be considered smart and worldly and kind and compassionate and, you know, many more things than just looked at for my physical appearance. So I think if we start to encourage others to look at themselves that way and say, you know, let's go outside of this box. Let's go outside of the physical. You know, there are people out there that are so amazing and so, you know, captivating, but you don't even have to see their face. You can listen to them speak.
Exactly.
You know, you can listen to them play an instrument. I've fallen in love with people who, you know, especially like guitarists or violinists, and just from hearing them play. You don't have to ever see their face. Just listen to them play that instrument completely makes you fall in love. And, you know, you can fall in love with a writer and the way that writer encompasses, you know, all of your fantasies in this book. And there's so many other ways to go about it than just saying, oh, I need to go to the gym every day, so I'll fit in a size 2. So I try to look at it that way and say, you know, what do I want to be, you know, known for? What do I want to go around and say, this is me? And I try to do a little bit of everything, a little health kick. You know, I like to get out there and be active, but I also like to expand my mind and my life. And through that, I find other people and that share my interests, and that makes me feel even more confident because I find people that build me up and say, wow, that is really great, and it makes you feel even better.
What a great perspective. That made me think just about all different forms of art, you know, and so right, like watching a person dance and just getting lost in their art or paint or, you know, whatever their art is so, it's just loving, you know, it's just loving, and watching them, you know, express love in that way. It's really just an expression of love, and there's so much beauty in that. I know the world, I actually had to read a little bit about universal beauty standards, and, you know, it was evolutionary, that psychologists, they conclude that humans have an innate attraction to beautiful people. So various studies produced some conclusions about lateral symmetry and how, you know, a face being, having a healthy appearance and having like all the ratio of eyes and nose in a certain way, and a woman being, you know, having measurements of 36, 25, 36 was the universal standards of beauty. And, you know, you just said it in a nutshell. You know, I once was in New York City at a party. It was for German Vogue magazine. It was years ago, in the 90s. And I remember being in the bathroom. I'm 5'2", and there was all these women that were like around 6 foot. It was all models at this party. And I was in the bathroom. Nobody smiled. And then in the room, it was dimly lit, but like there was no conversations going on. It was just people looking, and, you know, it was just such an uptight atmosphere. You know, that beauty, as it's perceived this way, you know, is so shallow. It's nothing else, you know, just shallow. Because a person has substance when you can, you know, just learn from each other, and the unity of respecting each other's art and respecting, you know, learning from each other. I think that's the message of beauty and self-love. Another way, it sounds a little hokey, and I brought this up on some other podcasts, but Louise Hay, do you know who she is?
Yes.
Louise. Okay, so she is huge with motivation and positivity, and her and Cheryl Richards have this video. You can YouTube it, I believe. It's called Mirror Talk. And the first time they talked about it, I thought, oh, my God. And they suggest that when you wake up in the morning and you're putting on your makeup, that you look in the mirror and you just mirror talk. I am beautiful. I am creative. I am powerful. I am capable of anything. I'm limitless. You know, I'm gorgeous. I'm a badass. You know, just all different self-talk, motivational dialogue that actually, and I think we talked about this last week, how our words become our thoughts, and then our thoughts become our actions. And mirror talk is huge with self-esteem. And you try it. It sounds really kind of corny, but it works. It works.
What's funny is my aunt actually told me that when I first started interviewing, when I was, 18 or so, and I was starting to go out and look for jobs. I was, going on interviews, which is always nerve-wracking. She is so funny, and she's so charismatic. She goes, I know I sound like your crazy aunt, but when you look in the mirror before your interview, if you're in the car or you're getting ready, getting dressed, having your breakfast, just tell yourself, I'm going to rock this. I'm going to rock this. I can do this. You can dance while you say it. You can, throw your arms up. You can make a funny stance. But just saying that and kind of saying, I got this. I can do this really makes you feel so much more empowered and that you really can do it. And honestly, I think that's how I just got my new job, is I did my little power dance. I did my I got this, you got it, girl, way to go, and walked into that interview feeling like I already had the job, that I was, no way could they turn me down. I'm the best candidate for this position. And that little boost of self-confidence and, you got it, girl, really, really sparked my whole mood. And it's a really, really great feeling, even though it is silly.
Exactly. And congratulations on your new job. That's
Thank you.
You're welcome. But she also, Louise Hay, puts out this CD. It's called 101 Affirmations. And you can hear over and over and over and over again. I did once drive to taking a state test in South Florida for my teaching credentials. And it was a test that had math on it. I hadn't taken math in 23 years. And I was a little nervous. And I just listened to the Louise Hay tape the entire way there. And it just helped. It helped. And, I do self-talk throughout the day. And I, just like you, baby, you got this. We got this. And music, too, is another empowering segue into a great mood, and just feeling good. And there's a lot of, even if you just Google songs that help self-esteem, I know that I was once doing some research. There's so many songs that you can just come up with that can make you feel amazing, pull you out of a bad mood. And I don't know, I always try to end with a couple of books to recommend on the topic at hand. So tonight I researched a couple of books to channeling inner beauty. And the first book is Channeling Ezekiel, and that is a guide to inner beauty, wisdom, and balance, a daily guide, and that's by Tammy J. Carpenter. Another book that seemed really interesting was Your Inner Skinny, and that was written by Joy Bauer. Another I found was Success and Beauty is an Attitude, and it seemed pretty like soul-stirring. There was a lot of different quotes that were listed. It seemed interesting. It's by Cassandra George Sturgis. And lastly, Recovery of Your Inner Child by Lucia Capaccioni. And, like you said, when you can laugh at yourself and you can just, not take things too seriously and get your own mojo going by being silly, just by yourself, that helps you also, react with other people and interact with other people and make other people feel great. So keep shining. It's great. It's great to have your perspective.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And I look forward to talking to you next week. Monday nights at 8:30 is our new time here for Say What You Want to Say. And I didn't even mention the opportunity to call in tonight or say the number. Shame on me. We do encourage everybody to call in. And I just got carried away with the topic. So we'll remember to mention that more next week. Have a great week, Cailyn. Thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
All right, bye, honey. Good night.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Janae from Old Navy's design team. Spring is here, so it's time to unbundle and show yourself off to the world again. And at Old Navy, we've got the outfits of the season to take you from brunch to beach to boardwalk and back. And now through Sunday, it's Old Navy Spring Break Sale with thousands of your favorite items on sale, like our T-shirts from $5, cute dresses and shorts from $15, plus swimwear from $10. So hit the spring break in style and run to Old Navy.
Valid 3/4 to 3/13. Select styles only. See store for details.